Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something really fundamental, I think, how to keep your mind positive, even when things get tough.
Yeah, it's a big one. And we're drawing on insights from the YouTube video, How to Train Your Mind to Stay Positive, Even When Life Gets Tough. Audiobook by SmartBook.
Right. So, our mission here isn't just to summarize. We want to really dig in.
Exactly. We want to pull out the actionable stuff, the techniques, look at the psychology behind it all.
Give you that shortcut, maybe, to understand how to navigate the rough patches with a bit more hope, inner peace.
That's the goal. Offer tools for resilience.
Because life definitely keeps us on our toes. We all know that feeling when negativity just seems easier. And this isn't about pretending the hard stuff doesn't happen. It absolutely does.
It's about having the tools when it happens.
Yeah.
Practical strategies, not just to survive the storms, but maybe even, grow a little from them.
Okay, so where does this journey start, according to the source?
Well, the video kicks off with something super basic but powerful. Our self-talk, that little voice inside our heads.
The internal narrator.
Yeah, it really highlights how much that shapes our reality. It can build us up or, well, drag us down.
It's like having a commentator in your brain, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes that commentator is just harsh.
Exactly. And the video points out that negative self-talk, it can become a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
How so?
Well, if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough or this won't work, your brain kind of looks for evidence to prove it right.
Oh, right. Confirmation bias.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
It subtly steers your actions, your perceptions, reinforcing those beliefs. It's a tough cycle.
Okay, so how do we break that cycle? The video talks about positive affirmations.
It does. But it stresses this isn't just wishful thinking or empty slogans.
Right. It needs to be more than that. What's actually happening?
It's about cognitive restructuring. That's the psychological term. Basically, by intentionally repeating positive statements, ones that reinforce capability, self-belief, optimism.
You're actually what? Changing your brain.
You're creating new neural pathways, kind of like carving out new trails. With enough repetition, these positive pathways can start to challenge and maybe even replace those old, worn-out negative thought patterns.
Rewiring the brain with words. That's pretty wild. What kind of affirmations are we talking about? Give us some examples.
Simple ones, really, like, I am capable, or I choose happiness. I am resilient every day.
Okay.
But the key, and the video makes this clear, isn't denying reality. It's not pretending problems don't exist.
It's about shifting focus.
Exactly. Intentionally directing your attention towards thoughts that empower you, rather than getting stuck ruminating on everything that's wrong.
Makes sense. So how do we actually weave these into daily life? Most people feel like they don't have time for another thing.
The video suggests starting the day with them can be really effective. Sets the tone,
Priming the pump for positivity.
Kind of, yeah. Those first thoughts in the morning can really color the rest of the day.
So practically, saying them in the mirror, writing them down.
All of the above, potentially. Saying them aloud can be powerful. Writing them in a journal, maybe morning or night. Some people even record themselves and listen back.
While commuting, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. The how isn't as crucial as the how often. Consistency is key.
And the long-term effects. The video suggests it's more than just feeling good for 5 minutes.
Definitely. Over time, consistent practice can genuinely boost self-confidence. It can improve how you manage stress.
A more optimistic outlook overall.
That's the idea. As your mind starts to internalize these positive messages, those automatic negative thoughts begin to lose their grip. You start noticing your strengths more.
Less focus on the weaknesses.
Right. So reshaping that inner narrative is like step one. It's foundational.
Okay, internal dialogue checked. What's the next strategy the video offers?
The next big one is gratitude. Mastering the art of gratitude to shift your perspective.
Gratitude.
The video argues that a lot of negativity stems from focusing on what's missing, what we don't have,
Yeah.
what went wrong.
The lack mindset.
Yeah, and that naturally breeds stress, dissatisfaction. Gratitude flips that script.
How so?
It intentionally shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from what's lacking to what's already there.
So it's more than just saying thanks.
Much more. It's presented as an active way of thinking, a lens through which you view your life, actively looking for the good.
Even when things are tough, that seems like the hardest time to practice gratitude.
That's exactly when it's most powerful, according to the video. It's not about ignoring the struggles. It's about acknowledging the good that still exists alongside them.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Maybe you're facing challenges at work. Gratitude might look like appreciating the opportunity to learn something new or the support from a colleague.
Or if things are tough personally, being grateful for a friend who listens.
Precisely. There's almost always something, even small, to be grateful for, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay, so how do we cultivate this? Does the video suggest specific practices?
Yes, the gratitude journal is a big one.
Ah, I've heard of that.
Just taking a few minutes each day, maybe write down 3 things you're genuinely grateful for.
And they don't have to be huge things.
No, not at all. A kind word, a nice sunset, a comfortable bed. Simple things. The power is in the consistency. Doing it regularly helps rewire your brain to automatically scan for positives.
Like training your brain to see the good stuff.
Exactly. And research backs this up, actually. Regular gratitude practice is linked to increased happiness, less stress.
What about expressing gratitude to others? Does that play a role?
Absolutely. The video mentions that. When you thank someone genuinely, it benefits them, obviously, but it also reinforces positive feelings in you. Kind of attracts more positivity back to you.
Interesting. And how does this connect to resilience? Bouncing back from difficulties?
Well, a grateful mindset helps you reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing them purely as failures, you might ask.
What can I learn here?
Right. Or, even though this is hard, what can I be thankful for right now? Maybe there's a hidden opportunity. It changes how you approach hardship.
So gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's like a skill, a muscle.
That's a great way to put it. A muscle you strengthen with practice. And the stronger it gets, the better you handle life's curveballs, the more grounded you feel.
Okay, so affirmations, gratitude. What's next in the positivity toolkit?
Next up is cultivating mental resilience through mindful awareness.
Mindfulness. Okay, that's a big topic too.
It is. The video starts by acknowledging that constant stream of thoughts we all have. Positive, negative, random, useful, not so useful.
The brain's chatter.
Yeah. And often these thoughts drive our emotions and actions without us even realizing it.
We just get swept away by them.
Exactly. Mindful awareness is presented as the tool to regain some control. It's about learning to observe your thoughts without judgment.
Just watching them, like clouds passing by.
That's a common analogy, yes.
Okay.
Instead of getting tangled up in the thought or automatically believing it, you create a little space. You notice it arise, and you notice it pass.
Especially the negative ones, so they don't just take over.
Right. It prevents them from dominating your mental landscape. It's about focusing on the present moment, not getting lost in past regrets or future worries.
And the benefits of this.
The video lists quite a few. Better stress management, for one. Maintaining positivity becomes easier, and you tend to respond to challenges with more clarity, less reactivity.
So how do we practice this? Meditation comes to mind.
Meditation is definitely presented as a core practice, but it doesn't have to be intimidating.
Not like hours on a cushion.
No, not necessarily. Even a few minutes of focused breathing, just noticing your breath, noticing thoughts come and go without getting hooked. That's training.
Training the mind to slow down a bit. Recognize the thought-emotion link.
Precisely. And it's not just for formal meditation. The video talks about bringing mindful awareness into everyday activities.
Like when you're eating or walking.
Exactly. Really paying attention to the sensations, the sounds, the details. Instead of being on autopilot, worrying about your to-do list.
But that sounds like a way to actually enjoy things more too.
It definitely can be. It also helps with difficult emotions.
How so?
When a strong emotion like anger or frustration arises, mindfulness encourages a pause. Instead of instantly reacting,
You observe it.
observe it with curiosity. Okay, anger is here. What does it feel like in my body? What thoughts are attached? This pause gives you a choice in how you respond.
A choice instead of a knee-jerk reaction. I can see how that builds resilience.
Absolutely. Less overreacting, easier to let go of worries. It cultivates a deeper sense of inner peace, balance. The video really drives home that true happiness comes from within, from managing our inner world, not just from external stuff.
That's empowering. Okay, so managing self-talk, gratitude, mindfulness. Where does the video take us next?
The next crucial piece is protecting your energy by setting mental boundaries.
Mental boundaries. Okay, explain that.
Think of your mental and emotional energy as a valuable, finite resource, like a phone battery.
Okay, yeah.
And lots of external things can drain that battery. Certain people, stressful environments, even the constant barrage of information.
So if we don't protect that energy,
We end up feeling negative, stressed, overwhelmed, maybe even emotionally exhausted,
been there. So mental boundaries are
like invisible lines. They define what you allow into your mind, your emotional space. Without them, you might absorb other people's negativity, feel obligated to say yes to everything.
Get pulled into draining situations.
Exactly. And the video highlights learning to say no without guilt. That's a big one for many people.
It really is. Why is saying no so hard?
Fear of disappointing others, maybe? But the video reframes it powerfully. It says saying no isn't selfish, it's self-respect. It's recognizing your limits.
And it offers this quote, right? Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could nourish you.
That's the one. It's about prioritizing your own well-being. Saying yes to yourself sometimes means saying no to others or other things.
What about toxic people? The constant complainers, the drama magnet.
The video advises limiting exposure. Sometimes that means physical distance, but often it's about emotional distance.
How do you do that?
Setting internal boundaries. Choosing not to engage in the negativity, not taking on their emotional baggage, protecting your own inner state.
Like a mental shield. It also mentions media consumption, right? That's a huge energy drain these days.
Huge. Constant negative news, endless social media drama. It seeps in. It fuels anxiety, comparison, dissatisfaction.
So the boundary is
Being mindful of what you consume, actively choosing content that's uplifting, educational, inspiring, unfollowing accounts that consistently bring you down.
making conscious choices about your information diet.
Exactly. And your physical environment matters too.
Clutter equals stress.
Often, yeah. A chaotic space can contribute to mental chaos. The video suggests that creating a calm, organized environment, even just decluttering your desk, can conserve mental energy.
Little changes can make a difference. Adding plants, maybe.
Things like that. Whatever promotes peace for you. And finally, setting boundaries around your time.
Saying no to time wasters.
Yes, and intentionally saying yes to things that actually bring you joy, fuel your passions, help you grow, prioritizing what truly matters.
So protecting your energy through boundaries, saying no, limiting toxic exposure, mindful media, calm environment, guarding your time, it all helps maintain that positive focus.
It safeguards your mental and emotional well-being, leading to a more peaceful, focused life.
Okay, energy protected. What's the next step in training the mind?
The next chapter focuses on transforming challenges into opportunities for growth.
Ah, the reframing technique. Seeing problems differently.
Exactly. Acknowledging that challenges are inevitable, but choosing to view them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones.
Easier said than done sometimes. That why me feeling can be strong.
It really can. The video suggests consciously shifting that question. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Ask.
What can I learn from this?
Or, how can this make me stronger? It puts you back in the driver's seat, mentally. You're looking for the lesson, the potential upside.
The video mentions some famous examples, doesn't it? People who overcame huge obstacles.
Yes. People like Edison, Oprah, J.K. Rowling, they all faced massive hurdles. Rejection, failure, difficult circumstances.
But they didn't see those hurdles as the end of the story.
Exactly. They saw them as temporary. That ability to persist, to see challenges as surmountable, was key. It's about developing resilience.
That ability to bounce back.
Right. Bounce back, adapt, keep moving forward. It's not about pretending the struggle isn't real. It is. Resilience is having the power to rise above it anyway.
The video uses an analogy, right? Like weights in a gym.
I like that one too. Each challenge you overcome strengthens those mental and emotional muscles. You get stronger with practice.
So instead of dwelling on the problem,
Focus on solutions. Ask, okay, what actions can I take, even small ones, to improve this? It shifts you from feeling helpless to feeling empowered.
taking back some control, what about failure? How does that fit in?
Failure gets reframed too. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the path to success.
A learning opportunity.
An invaluable one. It gives you data, feedback, shows you what doesn't work, so you can adjust your approach.
This really ties into the idea of growth mindset, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Believing that your abilities aren't fixed, that you can develop them through effort and learning, that's crucial.
So someone with a growth mindset sees a challenge not as a threat, but as
An opportunity to improve. They understand that struggles are usually temporary, and that effort makes a difference.
And who you surround yourself with matters here too.
Definitely. Being around positive, solution-focused people helps. Reading inspiring stories, listening to podcasts like this one.
Okay, point taken. It also mentions self-reflection after you get through something tough.
Yes, taking time to reflect. What did I learn? What strengths did I discover in myself? How did this experience actually help me grow?
Extracting the wisdom from the hardship.
Exactly. The toughest moments often lead to the biggest transformations, building character, emotional intelligence, that enduring resilience.
Turning adversity into a catalyst for growth. Okay, powerful stuff. What else does the video suggest?
Next, it talks about consciously fueling your mind with uplifting and inspiring content.
Like being mindful of our mental diet.
Precisely. The analogy used is the mind as a garden. What you plant and nurture determines what grows.
Negativity or positivity. Junk food or nutritious food for the brain.
You got it. The books, videos, podcasts, conversations, even the news we consume, it all directly influences our thoughts, emotions, outlook.
And we often underestimate that influence, don't we?
Massively.
Huh.
Constant exposure to negative news, social media drama, people complaining, it subtly chips away, leading to anxiety, dissatisfaction.
So the antidote is mindful consumption.
Yes, intentionally choosing podcasts, videos, books that inspire, motivate, teach you something valuable, following positive people or pages online.
The video specifically mentions the power of books.
It does. Books offer new perspectives, deep dives into ideas, wisdom accumulated over time, and audiobooks are great for busy schedules.
And motivational speakers, thought leaders.
Listening to people who reinforce confidence, hope, determination can be a great boost. Maybe start your day with a motivational talk.
Sets a positive trajectory. And our daily interactions matter too, right? The people we talk to.
Hugely. Spending time with positive, uplifting people versus those who constantly drain you makes a world of difference to your own mental state.
What about music?
Music is highlighted as potent mental fuel. Uplifting music can instantly boost your mood and motivation, creating playlists for energy or focus.
Makes sense. And it connects back to gratitude and affirmations too.
Yes, reinforcing those practices. Starting and ending the day with positive reflection and statements is like topping up your mental fuel tank.
And the environment again.
A calm, inspiring, organized space reduces mental friction, boosts clarity. It all contributes.
So nourishing the mind isn't a one-off, it's a lifelong habit.
Exactly. Continuous nourishment for a strong, resilient mindset.
Okay, we're fueling our minds. What's the next core principle?
This one's about commitment. Choosing positivity as a daily commitment, not just a temporary fix.
Ah, so it's not something you just switch on when things go bad.
Exactly. True positivity, the kind that helps you navigate tough times with hope, is a conscious choice you make every day. It's a habit to build.
It's easy to be positive when the sun is shining.
Right. The real test is maintaining hope, looking for solutions when things are difficult.
And again, this isn't about ignoring reality.
No. It's about focusing on what you can control, accepting what you can't, and approaching difficulties with that growth mindset we talked about.
It requires being aware of your thoughts, doesn't it? Catching the negative ones.
Yes, constantly. Noticing that inner critic and consciously replacing "I can't do this" with "I'm learning" or "This is hard, but I can handle hard things."
Shifting the narrative moment by moment.
And focusing on the present helps here too. Mindfulness keeps you anchored, less prone to getting swept away by past regrets or future fears.
Gratitude comes back in as well.
As an essential daily habit, always shifting focus from lack to abundance. The journal helps make it concrete.
Your environment, your social circle, keeping those positive influences strong.
It all supports that daily commitment.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to stay the course.
What about physical health? Does that play a role?
The video touches on it: exercise, good nutrition, enough sleep. They provide the physical energy and mental clarity needed to maintain emotional balance.
And having goals, meaningful goals.
Huge. Goals give you purpose, motivation, something positive to strive for, especially goals aligned with your values. They fuel hope.
But what about bad days? Because they will happen.
Of course, the video acknowledges that. The goal isn't perfection. It's not about never feeling negative.
It's about bouncing back faster.
Exactly. Developing the resilience to recognize negativity, process it, and return to a more positive state more quickly and easily over time. It's choosing happiness despite imperfections.
Making positivity a consistent, conscious choice. Okay. What else contributes to this positive way of living?
The video then explores something really lovely: mastering the art of grateful presence in every interaction.
Grateful presence. So being present, but with gratitude baked in.
Kind of, yeah. It starts by noting how rare true presence is these days. We're often physically there, but mentally somewhere else entirely.
Checking phones, thinking about the next meeting, lost in thought.
Right. And when we do that, we miss out on beauty, on connection, on the richness of the moment.
So grateful presences.
Being fully aware, fully engaged, and genuinely appreciative in interactions, even simple ones.
And the benefits?
It can transform relationships, according to the video, boost happiness, deepen
Well,
fulfillment.
to me, how do we practice it? In a conversation, for example.
Truly listening, Not just waiting to talk, but listening to understand the other person, showing genuine interest, putting distractions away.
Putting the phone down.
Definitely. Making eye contact, really being with the person.
And savoring moments, like a meal.
Yeah, or noticing small details on a walk. Bringing that mindful awareness and a layer of appreciation to everyday experiences.
What gets in the way? Mind wandering.
That's the main culprit. Drifting to past regrets or future worries pulls us out of the now.
So mindfulness practice helps here too, training the mind to stay present.
It's key. Observing sensations, sounds, emotions without judgment anchors you. Technology boundaries help too.
Designated unplug times.
Exactly. Even in challenges, grateful presence means accepting the moment as it is and maybe finding something to appreciate within it.
It sounds like it reduces stress too, being anchored in the present.
It does. Less anxiety about what's next. The video suggests little gratitude check-ins throughout the day. Just pause, notice something good right now.
And relationships flourish when people feel truly seen and heard.
Absolutely. Cherishing time with loved ones, expressing that gratitude explicitly. It deepens connection.
Grateful presence, it's a beautiful concept. What's the next piece of the puzzle for inner peace?
This one tackles a major source of stress, trying to control the uncontrollable. The key is strengthening inner peace by letting go.
Letting go of what you can't control. Okay, that sounds simple, but it's incredibly hard in practice.
It really is. We waste so much energy trying to control other people's opinions, outcomes, the past, the future, things that are fundamentally beyond our influence.
And it just leads to frustration.
And anxiety, disappointment. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about wisdom, recognizing what you can influence versus what you can't.
And focusing your energy where it actually makes a difference.
Precisely. It's surrendering to the flow of life sometimes, rather than constantly fighting against it.
Releasing expectations is part of this, like life should go exactly according to my plan.
Yes, life is unpredictable. Flexibility and acceptance are key, rather than rigid attachment to specific outcomes.
Letting go of the past mistakes, regrets.
Transforming them into lessons, learning, growing, but not letting them define your present or future. Forgiving yourself.
What about trying to control others?
Letting that go too.
Yeah.
You can only control your own behavior, your own values. Focus there. Release the need for others to be a certain way.
And fear of the future.
Prepare reasonably, yes. But trust your ability to handle whatever comes. Release the obsessive need to control every variable.
Mindfulness helps here again, observing those controlling thoughts without acting on them.
Exactly. Noticing the urge to control, the fear, and consciously choosing to release it. Repeating affirmations like, I release what I cannot change.
Self-compassion is important too, isn't it? Being kind to yourself when you struggle with this.
Vital. Forgiving yourself for imperfections, for past mistakes. The video even mentions things like decluttering your space, letting go of physical reminders of the past, or practicing forgiveness towards others to release emotional baggage.
Letting go of perfectionism too.
Yes, embracing growth as a process, not demanding flawlessness. Letting go is framed as liberation. Choosing peace over resistance, trust over fear.
Presence over worry. Okay, that's a big one for inner peace. So where does all this lead? What's the ultimate aim?
The final chapter ties it all together, building a life rooted in both positivity and purpose.
Positivity as the foundation, purpose as the direction.
Exactly. Positivity creates the fertile ground, but purpose gives meaning, motivation, a why behind your efforts.
And this starts with self-awareness, knowing yourself.
Yes. Reflecting. Who am I? What matters most to me? What kind of life do I want to build? Making intentional choices based on that understanding.
And facing fears along the way.
Acknowledging fear, yes, but not letting it dictate your actions. Taking steps towards your purpose despite the fear.
Resilience plays a part here too. Handling the inevitable setbacks on the path to purpose.
Absolutely. Seeing obstacles as detours or learning moments, not dead ends. Bouncing back and staying the course.
And those daily positive habits we talked about, they support this bigger picture.
They're the scaffolding. Morning routines, mindful consumption, gratitude, reflection, they maintain the positive foundation needed to pursue purpose effectively.
The video also mentions contribution, finding fulfillment in helping others.
Yes, purpose often involves making a positive impact, contributing to something larger than oneself. That brings deep satisfaction.
And finding your purpose isn't always obvious, is it?
No, it's often a journey of exploration. Trying new things, following your curiosity, seeing what resonates deeply.
While maintaining balance, right? Not letting ambition consume everything.
Crucial. Purpose shouldn't overshadow well-being. Integrating rest, relationships. Enjoyment is key for sustainability.
And letting go of negativity grudges, toxic ties, is essential to make space for this positive, purposeful life.
Absolutely, it frees up the energy needed for growth and contribution.
So it's about mindset again, focusing on possibilities, gratitude, progress.
Fundamentally, yes. Believing in your ability to create a meaningful life. Seeing each day as a new opportunity to grow towards your values and dreams.
A life rooted in both positivity and purpose sounds like a really robust way to live.
It allows you to navigate challenges while staying true to what matters most.
Okay, the video also revisits the idea of positivity as a lifelong practice, right? Not just a temporary fix.
Yes, it really hammers this home towards the end. Positivity isn't something you achieve and then you're done. It needs constant cultivation, daily reinforcement, until it becomes almost second nature.
It's a mistake to only seek it out when things are already bad.
Exactly. True. Resilient positivity is cultivated during the good times too, so it's there to carry you through the tough times. It's an internal skill, like strengthening a muscle with regular workouts.
So those daily rituals are crucial.
Very. Positive morning habits may be gratitude, setting intentions, reading something inspiring, meditation, exercise. They set the stage.
And being mindful of thoughts throughout the day, catching negativity.
Constantly steering the ship. Gently redirecting focus when you drift into negative patterns. Surrounding yourself with positive people and content remains vital.
Handling challenges with resilience, seeing them as learning experiences, not defeats.
That becomes part of the practice. And self-care, prioritizing physical and mental well-being, is non-negotiable for sustaining positivity long-term.
Letting go of perfectionism is mentioned again, too.
Yes, focusing on progress, not perfect positivity, embracing the ups and downs. Practicing kindness and generosity also reinforces positivity, both for you and others.
And having that strong sense of purpose we just discussed?
It provides the underlying motivation, the why, that keeps you committed to the practice even when it's difficult.
So positivity is really a journey, not a destination.
Precisely. It's about developing the ability to consistently return to a positive, hopeful state, building that mental resilience to navigate whatever life throws your way with strength. It's the sum of many small daily choices.
Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the final key messages from the video?
It really recaps the transformative power we've been discussing. But the big emphasis is on action. Putting these ideas into daily practice is what creates real change.
Positivity as an empowering choice we make.
Yes, even when it's hard. And it highlights the ripple effect, how your positivity can inspire others.
So make that daily decision. Live with intention, gratitude, confidence.
It might not always be easy, the video acknowledges that, but it stresses that the journey is definitely worthwhile.
It's about taking ownership, transforming your mindset, creating a future filled with more joy and fulfillment.
Exactly. The final call to action is really clear. Choose positivity. Choose growth. Choose to live an extraordinary life.
So bringing it all home, positivity is like that muscle you build daily. It's an active, ongoing commitment leading to a more resilient, meaningful life.
Absolutely. So for you listening, maybe take a moment now, think about one or two things we've talked about that really struck a chord.
Just one technique or idea.
Yeah. And maybe commit to trying it out this week. Just see what happens. Notice any shifts in your outlook or how you feel.
And here's a final thought to chew on. Imagine consistently applying just one of these principles, gratitude, mindful moments, positive self-talk every single day for the next year. What could that compound effect look like?
What might that future version of you look and feel like? Something to consider.
Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.